Truthfully, I'm here because I literally just saw a post on Threads from this creator. I've never seen them before on my timeline or anywhere else. And that's how I know that this was a divine kind of intervention sign, because it literally was speaking to me exactly where it is that I'm at right now. And in this post, the woman was talking about how basically she's just going on YouTube every day and just like yapping. I think she's calling it like her daily yaps. I'm gonna find her and I'm gonna tag her in this just so that she knows that her posting that like really just inspired me. So I literally just pulled out my camera. I'm sitting in my living room, did not do any kind of makeup or anything. As you can see, my hair looks a hot mess. I need to get it retwisted, but I'm here and I'm showing up and I'm just going to talk. And what she was saying in her post is pretty much she just like does these daily yaps where she talks about different things, different like kind of stream of consciousness things, and it's very unfiltered and unedited, and it's just speaking from a place of transparency of whatever it is that's on your mind and whatever it is that's on your heart. So I figured, I don't know, I just felt the call. It just felt like it made sense. And now I'm here. And truthfully, this feels weird. It feels a little bit awkward. I've been out of the kind of zone for being on YouTube, being on social at all. I've just been out of it for a couple months. I think the last time I posted was, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. I've just been in such a season of change and such a season of transition. And if you watch the other videos on my channel, you'll see that a couple months ago I was dealing with a pretty debilitating injury. I had a herniated disc in my spine, and it was compressing the nerve roots at the L4 and L5 region in my spine. And so that particular region is the nerve that goes down your entire left leg, or at least the side that it was on for me. It affected my left leg. So I could not walk, couldn't stand, couldn't sit. I was in so much pain, like debilitating pain. I could not really care for myself. So I moved in with my mom and I was staying with her for a bit before having surgery to remove the herniation. And since that time, I've pretty much just been in recovery. And, it's weird because at the time when everything was going on, like I had such this sense of just hope. And being on the other side of it now, I think what a lot of that hope was just this yearning and desiring to no longer feel like how I was feeling. Because when I tell you, like, that was the worst pain I've ever experienced in life. Like, I can't even explain what that pain was like other than completely just life shattering and life changing and humbling. Like, to go from literally being able to like travel and move around and do whatever I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do it, to literally not being able to sit, not being able to shower some days, not being able to dress myself. Like, the whole experience was so humbling in so many ways. And at that time, literally all I wanted was just to not feel like that anymore. And so when I was envisioning the future, I was envisioning, the summer and being able to be back in the swing and doing things, and now being in the time frame of where I once was yearning to be, and this reality not matching what I had envisioned in my mind, it kind of throws you off a bit. And like, you start thinking about, well, are things ever gonna change? Is this always how I'm gonna feel? Like, I want to not feel like this in my body anymore. I don't want to have this chronic pain and discomfort every day when I wake up. And that thought can be very what's the word I'm looking for? Discouraging. Yes, that's the word. It can be very discouraging. And I had a piece of just insight that came to me today, well, that kind of culminated today based on like just talking to different people and receiving in little nuggets from them. And one of the biggest kind of nugget that came through that's really kind of helping me reframe and reshift my mind about all of this stuff and my perspective is today I still am further along and better than I was. And even though it's not where I know I want to be, I can't discredit all of the trauma and the work and the healing that my body has gone through over the last couple of months, just because I want it to be further along. And what I'm learning right now is really acceptance. Like I'm really learning how to surrender to what is unfolding for me. Like there's just so much change happening in my life in so many different ways, from dealing just with all the aftermath of the injury and surgery and still healing my body and learning to accept this new body of mine that has also put on a significant amount of weight. I've gained like probably like 30 pounds, like either close to or like a little bit more than 30 pounds. And that's added another level of frustration to my healing process because body image, right? Body image issues, it's a thing, you know, like it's a thing, it's prevalent, it's something that I have really worked and done a lot of healing work around in the last couple of years, is to really reframe the way that I think, feel, and believe about my body and my overall looks. And being in this space where I am now, where I'm at the heaviest that I've ever been in my life, and still trying to just show love to my body. It's been hard. It's definitely been hard. And in that, there's definitely been instances that my old programming has been trying to come up and like take over the show and really just have said just really not nice things to myself and about myself, and really thinking about like the trauma that my body has been through over the last couple of months. It's it's just so unkind to treat her that way. Like that's just how I'm feeling about it now. Like she's been through a lot, and a friend reminded me recently like the way that our bodies kind of function, especially when it's in a state of feeling unsafe. It wants to protect you. And so weight gain that we may experience during periods and moments of trauma are really to help us. It's for protection. And hearing her tell me that, especially as someone who I know has gone through her own healing journey, is learning and has learned a lot about the body and the mechanisms of our body and the healing of our body. Hearing that from her, like it did something for me. It just like it's like something just started to make sense for me. And I really needed to receive that because of how I'd been feeling about myself for the last, oh man, it's probably been, I mean, heavy probably the last month, but in general, the last 2 months, like all of June, pretty much all of July, I've been like navigating a depressive episode. And I see how in the last probably like 2 weeks or so, week and a half, how the universe has really been trying to send me little glimpses of light through other people. And I'm feeling really grateful right now for the fact that I have people around me who recognized what it was that I was going through, that I definitely was not in a bright or positive or uplifting or expansive state of mind. I really just wasn't. I was sinking, and I was rotting, and I was ruminating in a sea of my subconscious thoughts, and they were taking over, and I felt like there was no hope, and I felt like there was no light, and I felt just this immense sense of dread just taking over everything in me. And then there were situations and circumstances happening in my life with my job and work, and that just were making all these feelings worse. Just was making everything feel even more dreadful. And I just felt no desire for anything at all. But I'm realizing now, as I'm kind of on my come up, as I'm kind of like climbing myself out of this depressive state, this depressive episode, that there really was always light around the whole entire time. And the light was presenting itself to me in very small ways and in small things. And what I needed to do was really connect back to myself so that I could start to notice. Because that's what I really was missing. I wasn't noticing any of it. I was sinking into this sea of my own despair and darkness, and I was completely disconnecting myself from all of the things that make me me. And in slowly, and I'm talking slow, it's slow process, because I'm literally still like climbing myself out. But in slowly starting to add in some of the things that just make me feel like myself, even just for a little bit of time, like being outside. That is really a thing for me, like to be outside and just connecting with nature. That is something that allows me to really feel like myself. And it was something that I had completely disconnected from. And I just got the urge one day randomly to go and sit outside on the porch, which I hadn't done in like 2 months. And I sat out there just for a couple minutes, and I just felt better once I came inside. And when I say better, I don't mean like, oh, everything is feeling bright and this and that. Not in that way, but there was like a slight shift. Like I could tell that I was enjoying the time that I was spending being outside and just like watching nature. And I was reminded of when you kind of get those things that come into your mind, like those little whispers of like, you should go outside, or reach out to such and such, or go listen to that such and such album. Like these little whispers that come through, at least for me, that's how I interpret them and receive them, as these like little whispers. And I had forgotten about listening to the whispers. That had just completely left me. And whatever it was this day, I guess the whisper was loud, and I heard it and I listened to it. And it was that listening, it was the taking action on the thing that came through that really started to just kind of open me up, open my eyes up to something that felt kind of good. Because at the state that I was in, I was feeling nothing. Nothing felt good. Nothing felt exciting. Nothing felt joyous. Nothing felt happy. Nothing felt desirable. Everything was just dread. It just felt dreadful. And I don't know, I guess this is just a thank you or a moment of gratitude that I have for receiving what I needed to receive, and then doing with that what needed to be done. And so I'm just feeling grateful. This is definitely just a moment of gratitude. And yeah, that's all I have. I mean, this felt good. This feels good to just kind of like talk, you know, and just get it out, even without any kind of plan or anything, just to really stream of conscious kind of get this out in a way. It feels kind of like morning pages, but in visual form instead of writing, right? That's kind of what it feels like, because this is just very like top of mind, just whatever kind of comes out. So, yes. So that's where I'm at. And I will be back. I don't know, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day after that. Who knows? We will see where this journey goes. But I just wanted to get on here and really just take action on something that I felt inspired by today and just show up. All right. Till next time. Bye.